Good afternoon, children. Today we are going to study about rectilinear figure. First, we'll talk about the open curve and closed curve. So, open curve, a curve whose both the ends are open and there is no area bound between it. It is known as open curve. We cannot calculate the area and perimeter of that figure. But if it is a closed curve like this, like initial and end point, they are bound. They enclose some area in between them. They are known as closed curve, and we can calculate their area as well as the perimeter. Fine. Now we'll talk about the polygons. I am going because this is a recapitulation for you. You have already done in your previous class. So polygons, if we have a three-sided figure, a closed curve of three sides, it is known as triangle. Four sides, quadrilateral. Five, pentagon. Six, hexagon. Seven, septa or heptagon. Eight, octagon. Nine, nonagon. 10, decagon. And more than 10, suppose it has 11 sides, then 11 dash gon, 11 gun. We call them like that. Sum of all, because if we have a triangle, then we will have a three-sided figure, three sides. Then we will have three interior angles, we will have three exterior angles in that. So sum of all three interior angles will be 180 degree. Likewise, some quadrilateral. If we are talking about a quadrilateral, we have four interior angles as well as four exterior angles. Sum of all interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degree. Likewise, for a pentagon, sum of all five interior angles is 540 degree. This way you can calculate. There is a formula. Sum of all interior angles of a polygon who has n sides is 2n minus 4 multiplied by 90 degree. You have done this formula in your previous class. Fine. There is one more term, that is a regular polygon. Okay, so regular polygon, but before that I would like to explain you there are two types of polygons: convex polygons and concave polygon. A convex polygon is a polygon in which all interior angles are less than 180 degree. Each interior angle of a convex polygon is less than 180 degree. Then it is known as, it can be a acute angle, it can be obtuse angle, but it should not exceed 180 degree. This type of closed figure, this type of a polygon is known as convex polygon. As you can see in this figure, these two seems to be 90 degree, these two angles are obtuse angle, this is acute angle. Okay, in all the cases, in all five angles are less than 180 degree. So it is a convex polygon. Concave polygon, if one angle is a reflex angle, means if one angle, the measurement of one angle becomes more than 180 degree, then the polygon is known as concave polygon. As in this figure, rest all the angles are either acute or obtuse, but this angle which is shaded with pink is reflex angle, it is more than 180 degrees. So it is known as a concave polygon because a kind of cave is formed here. So it is known as concave. Fine. As you can see that this cave is formed over here, na? So it is known as concave polygon. Now another term, that is regular polygon. Regular polygon means if all sides of a polygon are equal, then it is known as a regular polygon. Regular hexagon, all six sides of a hexagon are equal, then it is known as regular hexagon. And one more thing, if all four sides of a polygon, all n sides of a polygon are equal, then it will have n interior angles also, and all interior, each interior angle will be same. Means if we talk about a regular pentagon, then we will have five interior angles in that, and as it is a regular pentagon, all five sides are equal, so all five interior angles will also be equal. Are you getting it? Each interior angle. The formula for calculating each interior angle is 2n minus 4 into 90 degree divided by n. You have done in your previous class. Fine. All this is recapitulation. You know all about what is exterior angle, interior angle, but we are revising once again. So interior angle are the angles which are formed inside the polygon, and if we extend one of the side of the polygon, then this kind of angle is formed, okay, which is shaded with red shade. It is exterior angle. As you can see, interior angle and exterior angle are linear pair, so we come to this conclusion that sum of interior angle and exterior angle will always be 180 degree. Fine. Okay. Sum of interior angles of a polygon, it varies according to the according to the number of sides of the polygon. If it is a triangle, it will be 180 degree. If it is a quadrilateral, 360 degree, and so on. Fine. What about the exterior angle? Okay, we have 5 interior angles, then we'll have 5 exterior angles also. Let us pick up this diagram of a triangle. It is an equilateral triangle, 60 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree. All 3 interior angles are 60, 60 and 60. They have extended this line, they have formed a exterior angle. So if interior angle is 60 degree, exterior angle is 120 degree. Likewise over here also, likewise over here also. Now we'll do a little bit activity. We are going to pick up only the exterior angles. We have removed the triangle from between. Okay, are you getting it? You can imagine the previous figure without the triangle. This orange portion has been removed or it is disappeared. Now if we bring them closer, see what happens. They make 360 degree one complete angle. It shows that sum of all exterior angles of a polygon will always be 360 degree, no matter it carries how many sides. It was a triangle. You can see in a case of a hexagon also, we have 6 exterior angles. It is a regular hexagon. Are you getting it? It is a regular hexagon. So each interior angle was 120 degree. Okay, so each exterior angle is 60 degree. If interior angles are equal, then exterior will also be equal. So we have removed this. This orange hexagon has been disappeared. We have only the exterior angles. If we arrange them properly in this manner, they form a complete angle 360 degree. So conclusion is this, that sum of all interior angles depends upon the number of sides, but sum of all the exterior angles of a polygon remains 360 for all the polygons. Here are few properties of quadrilateral. Special kind of quadrilaterals we are going to study. Okay, and it is first of all parallelogram. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel, okay, and equal. That you know. PM is parallel to ON, OP is parallel to MN, and they are equal also. Fine. What about the diagonals? Diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. Are you getting it? It means if we have a midpoint over here, intersection point, suppose it is named as A, then AM is equal to AO, AP will be equal to AN. Are you getting it? Fine. One more property is there, that parallelogram, in a parallelogram, opposite angles are always equal. Angle M is equal to angle O, angle P is equal to angle N, and all the properties of parallel lines will also apply to it. Like angle P plus angle M is equal to 180 degree because it is co-interior angles. Fine. Rectangle. In case of a rectangle, one very important thing here, in case of a parallelogram, diagonals are not equal. The length of diagonals will be unequal. They will be of different measurement. In a rectangle, opposite sides are equal, opposite sides are parallel to each other. Each angle is 90 degree. Fine. Diagonals. What about the diagonals? Diagonals of rectangle are equal and they bisect each other. It means if we have a midpoint over here as suppose A, then AP will be equal to AN, AM is equal to AO. Are you getting it? Both the diagonals are also equal and they bisect each other. Okay, fine. And opposite angles form at the point where diagonals meet are congruent. I mean they are equal. And special type of rectangle is known as parallelogram. It means if we if each angle is not 90 degree, then it becomes a rectangle whose angles are not 90, each angle is not 90, it becomes a parallelogram. Square. All four sides are equal. Opposite sides are parallel to each other. Diagonals. Diagonals are equal first of all, and then they bisect each other at 90 degree. It means suppose intersection point of diagonals is A, then AD is equal to AF, AG is equal to AE. Okay, and diagonals are equal also, so it means all four will become equal. Suppose diagonal R DF is 6 centimeter. If DF is 6 centimeter, DE will also be 6 centimeter, and they are bisected. So AD becomes 3, AF becomes 3, AG becomes 3, AE becomes 3. Okay, so all four parts will be equal to each other. An angle formed between them will be 90 degree. Fine. Moving on to the next is a rhombus. Very, very widely used figure. It says that in a rhombus, opposite sides are parallel to each other. All the sides are equal. Diagonals, very, very important property. Diagonals of rhombus bisect each other at 90 degree. You have to learn this. You may forget your name, but you should not forget this property. Fine. Learn it. It should be on your fingertips. Rhombus, diagonals of rhombus bisect each other at 90 degree. What does it mean? If diagonals intersect each other at suppose point O, this is point O, then OA is equal to OC, OB is equal to OD. Clear? And angle between them is 90 degree. It means angle AOB is 90. Likewise, angle BOC is 90. Other two will also be 90 degree. Are you getting it? Very, very important. One more thing. In case of a rhombus and a square, diagonals bisect the vertex angles. Okay, in case of a rhombus and square, diagonals bisect the vertex angle. It means angle A, here AC is bisecting angle A, here BD is bisecting angle B and angle D. Fine. Trapezium. What is trapezium? If a quadrilateral has two opposite sides are parallel to each other and no side is equal, then it is known as a trapezium. Are you getting it? And if two non-parallel sides are equal, then it becomes an isosceles trapezium. In that case, base angles will be equal, just like as a isosceles triangle. This is a chart, you can go through it. Fine. Whatever I have said, it is marked in that. Let us come to the questions, and you will come to know how are we going to apply these properties over here. Question number 4, B part. ABCD is a parallelogram. We have to find the angles of triangle AOD. See, it is a parallelogram, so AD and BC are parallel to each other. If AD and BC are parallel to each other, this is 35. This angle AD and this 35, because they form a Z and they are parallel, AD and BC are parallel to each other, so angle DAC will be equal to 35 because it is an alternate angle. Likewise, CD and AB are parallel to each other and they are 75 degree. BC and AD are parallel. BC and AD are parallel to each other, and again they are making Z. So 77 degree, and this angle ADO will be 77 degree because it is alternate angle. Fine. Now we have got this angle as 77, this angle as 35, so third angle can be calculated by angle sum property. Fine. Next question is ABCD is a rhombus and we are supposed to find out the value of x. Okay, it is mentioned here. As I have told you that in case of a rhombus, diagonals bisect the vertex angle. So complete angle A is given 72 degree. Diagonal AC will bisect angle A. It means DAC and CAB, both the angles will be equal to 70, half of the 72 degree. That means 36 degree. Are you getting it? This angle will be 36, this angle will be 36. Angle DAC will be 36, angle CAB will also be 36. Okay. Now CAD is 36 and ACB. Here they have not, reason is not mentioned over here. Fine. First line I have explained to you, CAB and CAD, these will be because AD bisect the complete angle A, that is why it becomes 36 degree. These two angles will be equal to each other. CAB will be equal to ACB. ACB will be equal to CAD because they are forming a Z, and CD and AB are parallel to each other. So CD and AB are parallel to each other. That is why this angle and this angle will be equal. And if this angle is 34 degree, this angle will also become 36 degree. Then this angle becomes 36 degree. Alternate angles. Reason is not mentioned here. It is alternate angle. Fine. Now, as we know that diagonals of rhombus bisect each other at 90 degree. So this angle has become 36, alternate angle. This was 36, this becomes 36, alternate angle. This was 36, this becomes 36, alternate. This angle is 90 degree. Fine. If intersection point is O, then BOC, angle BOC becomes 90 degree. So in a triangle BOC, we have 90 degree angle, we have 36, we have x, then we can calculate value of x. 180 minus 90 plus 36, that means 54. Fine. Now moving on to the next question, that is ABCD is a rectangle and diagonals intersect at point O. AC is produced till E and angle DCE has been given 146. We have to find out angles of triangle AOB. First of all, diagonals of rectangle are equal to each other. BD is equal to AC. So if BD and AC are equal, then half of the BD will be equal to half of the AC. Fine. But before that, they have done this. DCE is 146. So DCA linear pair, it will be 180 minus 146. That means 34. Now, if this angle is 34, this angle OAB and angle OCD will be alternate angles because CD and AB are parallel to each other, opposite sides of a rectangle. So they become alternate angle. So if this is 34, this also becomes 34. Now, diagonal BD and diagonal AC, they are equal to each other. Half of AC will be equal to half of BD. And half AC is what? OA. And half BD is what? OB. Why? Because diagonals of rectangle bisect each other. So bisect each other means OA is equal to OC and complete half of AC becomes OA. OD is equal to OB. So half of BD becomes OB. So we'll write that OA and OB are equal. If OB and OA are equal, it is an isosceles triangle. This angle is 34, this angle is 34. We can calculate angle AOB in triangle AOB. Fine, with angle sum property. Moving on to the next question, it is an isosceles trapezium. Isosceles trapezium means two parallel sides, opposite sides are parallel to each other, non-parallel sides are equal. Okay, this diagram is given in the question. Fine, we are supposed to find out value of x and y. First of all, CD is parallel to AB. If CD and AB are parallel to each other, then 2x and 3x, their sum will be equal to 180 degree because they are co-interior angles. Are you getting it? So value of x becomes 36 degree. Now, as it is an isosceles trapezium, angle A will be equal to angle B. Base angles will be equal. So if angle A is 2x, angle B will be 2x. Now again, angle C plus angle B is equal to 180 degree because CD is parallel to AB and these two angles are forming co-interior angles. So their sum will be equal to again 180 degree. 2x, this becomes 2x. 2x plus y is equal to 180 degree. X is 36, so it becomes 72. Value of y becomes 108. Okay, moving on to the next question. It is a kite. Kite means this kind of a picture is known as kite, a quadrilateral where two adjacent sides are equal. AD is equal to AB, CD is equal to BC. Okay, diagonals are not equal but they intersect at 90 degree. It means at point O, all four angles which are formed 90, 90, 90, 90. Are you getting it? And if you see it very keenly, very thoroughly, triangle ABD is an isosceles triangle because AD and AB are equal. Are you getting it? Clear? So OA is a perpendicular which is dropped on BD. So OD will be equal to OB because in an isosceles triangle, if we drop a perpendicular, it bisects the base. Fine. Likewise, triangle BCD is also an isosceles triangle. And one more thing you have to remember, if we, in an isosceles triangle, if we drop a perpendicular, that perpendicular bisects the vertex angle. It means OA will bisect complete angle A, OC will bisect complete angle C. Are you getting it? So, if complete angle A is 112, then angle DAO will be 112 divided by 2. Are you getting it? 56 degree. Likewise, complete angle DCB is 64. So, angle DCO will be 32 divided by 2. We are supposed to find out angle ODC. ODC. ये वाला angle निकालना है. Are you getting it? As I have told you that diagonals intersect at 90 degree. This angle is 90. This angle we have calculated 32. So this angle ODC, you can calculate angle sum property. See, we have done the same thing. Angle OAD is equal to OAB becomes 56 because they are the isosceles triangle. That is why it will, and perpendicular will bisect the vertex angle. That is why. Fine. Likewise, in other triangle, in this triangle, AD and AB are equal. Isosceles triangle, OA is perpendicular which is dropped. This angle becomes 56. This angle becomes 56. Angle AOD becomes 90 degree. This is the property of kite. One angle is 90. This angle is 56. Angle OBA can be calculated. 56, 90, OBA becomes 180 minus 56 plus 90. That means 34. Moving on to the next one, which is very, very important. Prove that bisectors of any two opposite angles of a parallelogram are parallel. So first of all, we have drawn a parallelogram ABCD. Line AB is parallel to line CD. Line AD is parallel to line BC. Fine. Now they have given bisectors of any two opposite angles. So I have taken angle D and angle B. As we know that opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So if complete angle D is 2x, then complete angle B will be 2x. Fine. DF is the angle bisector of angle D. So angle ADF becomes x. Angle FDC becomes x. Because it is bisecting, complete angle D is 2x. We have assumed. Complete angle B was 2x because opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. As BE is a bisector, so angle EBC becomes x, angle EBA becomes x. Both will become x and x. Now, because AB and CD are parallel to each other, see AB and it goes here and it comes here. So it is forming a Z, AB, then BE, then EC. So it is forming Z. It means if this angle is x, this angle will also be x. Fine. It means angle ABE will be equal to angle BEC because they are alternate angles. Fine. So if this angle is x, this angle also becomes x. Now, if we extend these lines, DF is extended and BE is extended. If we extend these lines and if you turn the figure and if you see it, take BE and DF as parallel lines, and if CD becomes a transversal, DF and BE are the lines and CD is a transversal, then this angle BEC and angle FDC, which kind of angles are these? They are corresponding angles. And if corresponding angles are equal, then given lines will be parallel to each other. This is the property. If two lines have been given and we don't know whether they are parallel or not, but if either alternate angle become equal or corresponding angles become equal, because corresponding angles will form whether the lines are parallel or not. Alternate angles will exist whether lines are parallel or not. If lines are parallel, then alternate angles become equal. होते तो हैं, equal नहीं होते हैं. And if alternate angles are equal, it means the lines are parallel. Or if corresponding angles are equal, then it says that given lines are parallel to each other.